Hi all, so this year I grew out a bunch of different melons, and this is a quick review of some of them, just kind of so you could kind of see how it looks like, you know. So what I have here is a Tigger melon. It's actually a pretty decent size. I actually thought it was going to be a smaller fruit, but it's a decent size. It's about the same size of most of my Kajari melon right here. There you go. And in terms of flesh, the Kajari is a green flesh melon. The Tigger melon is a more like kind of a white flesh. It's a very, very pretty fruit, you know, actually decent size, like the size of a softball. Okay. In terms of taste, it's this one has a texture that's a bit more firmer, the Tigger, but much more mellower taste. This one, the Kajari, it has a nice kind of honeydewish taste to it. It's green, it's much more sweeter. The only thing about the Kajari is that the kind of like the pulp around the seeds is a bit, I would say it has a bit of bitterness in it, which is kind of strange. It's the only one I've tasted that has that kind of little bit of bitterness in the pulp. That just kind of made it a bit more difficult for me to save seeds because I kind of just like eating around that little flesh and then spit out the seeds. But with the Kajari, it was kind of unpleasant, so I didn't save it that way. Later on, I'll show you the inside of both of these. This is Rich Sweetness 132. It was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, but it was highly prolific. Unfortunately, I don't think I will be growing this again. It's just really not worth it. It's too small. Let me cut into one to kind of show you guys the flesh. Not much flesh, it's just a lot of seeds. It smells great, but there's not much flavor in it. I would say the Tigger melon has a bit more flavor than this, but both of them are kind of light, you know. So that's the Rich Sweetness 132. Not something I would recommend growing again, unless you like growing it. It's very prolific, and then either make some juice out of it or something. But definitely not for me. Okay, so this is the inside of a Tigger melon. See, it's white. This is the inside of a Kajari melon. See how it's green right there? You know, the texture of this is a bit more firmer. This one's a bit more softer. The Tigger is a bit more mellow in flavor. This one's a bit more sweeter, but like I said, the pulp in this around these seeds right here, it's very unpleasant. Up next, this is a Charentais melon. It's a French heirloom. This one out of all the melons I grew had the most amazing smell. I liked it very much. It was one of the earliest ripening one too. I don't know if that was just unique for this year, but I'm gonna try to grow it up again next year. It was the first one to ripen, and I actually finished picking all the fruits, maybe over a dozen of them, while some of the other fruits are still kind of ripening. And then after that, everything else started ripening for me. Let me cut into this for you. It's a very kind of soft flesh, orange flesh. There you go. It's nice fruit though. Sweet enough, and the smell is amazing when you pick it fresh. It kind of mellows down a bit when you put it in the fridge, but it has a great smell to it. Charentais, I would definitely grow this again next year. This right here is a Tommy apple melon. This one's the one on a smaller size, but I have quite a few more that's a bit larger, maybe like, see if you can see my hand, maybe like that size more. This one has been everyone's favorite. Has a little bit of nice fragrance to it. It's not that strong compared to like the Charentais. It has this nice orange color, and one of the most cool thing about this is that it's the easiest melon I've grown to pick. It's so easy to pick. Like they're green in the morning, and by the evening or afternoon it would turn completely yellow. You kind of just lift it up, and then it comes out very smoothly like this, you know. So by color and by the stem slipping, both really good indication of it being ripe. It makes it so easy to see it out of all the different out of the leaves out there. So it's very easy to harvest. It's the sweetest flavor out of them. Has the best texture too. It's not too soft. It's a bit on the crispy side too. So it's very good flavor. But it's not I would say it's not the most prettiest fruit. I mean, it just looks like your typical melon. There's nothing unusual about it. The flesh is a bit more lighter in color too. Let me cut into this. Here's the flesh. You know, it's not as white as the video shows, but it's a little bit more paler. There's a bit of orange in there, but there's not much coloring to it. But it's very delicious. Let me kind of show. This is the flesh color of the Charentais. Nice orange color. This one. It's a Tommy apple melon. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but yes, this is Tommy apple melon. My family's favorite. Everybody has loved this so far. And here's the Tigger melon. You can kind of see in comparison. And this is the Kajari melon. So you can see it's a very pale kind of color. It's not really that pretty, but very delicious. And I'll be growing a lot more of this next year. Even as right now, it seems very vigorous, and it hasn't. Lots of other vines has started wilting already. The vines on this is still very green, and I probably picked over like half a dozen melons already or more. It's still very green. All my other melons are beginning to wilt, and this one it looks like it's still going. So I still have about, I think, maybe 5 or 6 unripe fruits on it. So Tommy apple melon, if you had to grow only one, I think you would really like this one. Nice kind of size. It gets a little bit larger, but it's not a big melon. Okay, that's my review. I hope this kind of helps you guys pick what you want to grow next year. You know, if it was me, if I had to grow only one fruit, one melon, it would be the Tommy apple. If I had to grow 2 of them, it would be the Tommy apple plus the Charentais. That's if I had to grow 2. If it's 3, I'll also include a Kajari melon. Well, thanks everyone.